and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hi, I'm urban Christian artist Kayla James, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
This is Atina, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is your boy Easeman. You're listening to iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the world.
Are you ready for Rapsalute? We're the #1 hip-hop show in the T-Dot, airing every Monday from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. on iliveradio.com with your host Amber, alongside DJ Shortcut, Chino, Dean, and Caesar Swift on the ones and twos, representing the culture, the lifestyle, the music, and the DJs.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 Drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on iLive Radio, serving up audible treats like honey, always with a heavy beat drop.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
This is Miss Care keeping you connected with your iLive 5x5. Brought to you by iLive Music, sponsored by Independent Hype, and powered by The Hook Entertainment. Contribute to the conversation by using hashtag iLive 5x5.
For the latest and greatest in soul music and more, stay tuned to iLive Radio throughout the week.
Connect with our team at iliveradio.com or follow us at iLive Radio across social platforms.
Ray Hendricks, Slipping into Darkness on iLive Radio. It is my pleasure to welcome you each and every Wednesday between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. to Slipping into Darkness, my selection of sublime jazz and conversations with very special guests. Tune in each and every Wednesday between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. to Slipping into Darkness on iLive Radio. iLive Radio.
Hi, this is Miss Law. Tune in to Talks Honest every Sunday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on iLive UK, discussing topics often thought of but never spoken. That's Sundays, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on iLive UK.
Music back to back to back on iLive Radio.
Ready to start your Saturday night? Tune in to the Beats and Bass Show here on iLive Radio with me, DJ Deep Sound. Delve into the sounds of 140 deep dubstep, drum and bass, house, and many genres. Spinning something different every week, featuring special guest DJs and artists. The Beats and Bass Show, weekly 2 to 4 p.m. UK time, here on iLive Radio. Be there or be square.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation. Genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. Collective Music Nation. One voice. Strength in unity.
Join me, Uncle Funky, at noon Eastern Standard Time every Saturday for our music show, Give Me the Night, here on iLive Radio, and enjoy a Nuna like no.
What's up, London? This is the Ladies' Choice, DJ Mixmaster Caesar, coming to you straight from the 6 with the Red Planet Mix Show. Every Saturdays, 10 p.m. until midnight, spinning in the best music in hip-hop, R&B, soca, reggae, and top 40, exclusively on iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio.
Welcome to iLive Radio. Hi, I'm ODJ, your host from Amalgamation in Sound. Join me every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. where I'll bring you the very best in UK soul, house, broken beat, and everything in between. Remember to join in every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. for Amalgamation in Sound. See you there.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity. Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on iLive Radio, serving up audible treats like honey, always with a heavy beat drop.
Join the Music Collective family every Sunday for the Sunday Vibe from 12 till 4 on iLive Radio. For the best in quality music, special theme shows quarterly, and the infamous End of the Month show, when the Music Collective family get together for fun and frolics. So don't miss out on your Sunday vibe on iLive Radio via the TuneIn app or the iLive mobile app. See you Sunday. Music Collective Sunday vibe on iLive Radio.
Yes. Hello, iLive community. How is everybody doing? It's your boy, DJ Elegance. I'm very excited this evening. I have my first in-studio guest. We're going to get to her in 1 minute, but really excited to be here. It's been an interesting week, an interesting Sunday for me personally, but I want to welcome everyone from the iLive community to the Music is Everything podcast. It's me, DJ Elegance, and the podcast, if you're new, we get down. What we talk about is things related to the music, club, corporate, and wedding industry. And we talk shop. We talk about best practices. We talk about current things that are trending in the industry. And we want to talk with DJs, videographers, wedding planners, other event pros. The whole goal is to highlight and showcase the amazing, amazing hard work that so many individuals put into their passion and into their craft. And this evening, I'm very, very excited, as I mentioned, for my first in-studio guest. We have DJ T Jr. with us. So welcome. Hold on a second.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me today.
No problem. So we're going to kind of tease your bio throughout our time together chatting with you, but T Jr. is an amazing and accomplished DJ, turntablist. I've come to learn that she's also a engineer producer, right. And we're going to talk with her a little bit tonight, chopping it up, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was actually just next door over at the studio just mixing some tracks for a project that we're working on right now. So, it was a hop, skip, and a jump
I know.
get here. But this is the first post or even just COVID interview.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just been sort of laying low and just working during this time.
So I definitely want to talk about the studio work. I'm going to circle back to some other things I'm going to ask you. Let's talk about the studio work. So what's the name of the studio? Because, I want the listeners to know because I love the name of it.
Right. It's called Grinds Recording Studio. So I do want to say it's a Black-owned business by a Black male.
Okay.
Super successful. It's been really dope, and he's been working his entire life pretty much to get to this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's sort of in my field, like just as a DJ, I've put blood, sweat, and tears and so much love into DJing, you know what I mean? So same with him, and we connected and sort of I can like go into all the details like once we get into the conversation, but it's Grinds Recording Studio.
We can have it now for sure.
Yeah, and on social media though, it's at Grinds_recording. So that's across all the socials and stuff. So that's where I was just at mixing some stuff.
Yeah, and so. I guess what's the breakdown of what happens in the studio? Are you one of the main engineers there supporting other artists, or is it just sort of any type of producer comes in and supports the artists that they're working with? Like how does it work? Talk to us about studio life. How do things go down?
So it's us two as engineers. Obviously, Gregory Grinds is the lead engineer, and who owns the studio himself, and I'm one of his engineers. So it's us two in the studio working together.
Wow.
And, we have our regular clients and stuff who come in on a weekly basis. So we record them every week type thing. There's also, the one-offs here and there, but we definitely like to work with artists who, are very consistent and just build that relationship, build their sound, build, them as artists and work together to perfect sort of the sound and everything like that. So the process is basically the artist comes in, we record. There's so much. It sounds so simple, but it's really not that simple. It's super detail-oriented work.
Yeah.
So for me personally, like I'm a super detailed DJ.
Okay.
Very, very detail-oriented, as you can tell by my scratch videos and.
Not surprised.
Yeah, how particular I am as a DJ. Like, and then this was all sort of organic for me. Just because, it was just next in line for me. I always thought that producer would be the next thing because I always saw other DJs evolve into producers.
Yeah. So
DJ/producer, and it just so happened for me it's DJ/engineer, and I do a little bit of production.
So talk to us about, because I guess I'm a little bit naive because I obviously did a little research before tonight, and I was like, why doesn't it say producer? So what is the difference? I'm naive, and maybe for the listener, so on the outside, what is the difference between an engineer and a producer?
Huge difference. So when it comes to, maybe I'll just break down, even within engineering itself, there's actually, there's branches of engineering. So there's there's, strictly recording engineers, strictly mixing engineers, strictly mastering engineers. We do everything in-house. So we record, mix, and master. So what that means is the artist comes in, we record them, obviously. So our version of Serato is Pro Tools. That's the industry standard.
Okay, I was going to ask you, what do you use?
So Pro Tools is what we use. That's sort of the gold standard. There's not to say that if you were to use other programs that you wouldn't get the same result, but that's what we use. So you record the artist, we do mixing throughout, we do a bit of mixing throughout just to get a feel, so it won't be totally dry. And then the mixing is basically where you kind of give life to the track. You kind of give it a facelift, and that's sort of how I look at it, or listen to it. Mastering is sort of what you do at it's sort of the last step to get everything radio ready.
Okay.
Right? So it's a sequence of things.
The final polish.
The final polish, yeah. So recording would be the first step. You definitely want to be a great recording engineer in order to mix well. Mixing well takes a lot of practice. You have to develop your own style, your own methodology, and then mastering, like you said, would be the final touch. So that would be the order of, I guess, how you would go about it as an engineer: recording, mixing, mastering. If we can't record someone, say someone from Atlanta's already recorded something and they want us to mix it, they want us to bring the song to life and sort of get it radio ready, then they can send us vocal stems. So whatever, and also beat stems. So whatever was recorded on their end, they can send to us, and we'll open it up in a session and we'll mix it and master it. So now that's an audio or sound engineer. So as you can tell, we take the artist in the booth, create it from they come in with a beat. Right? And then they'll lay their vocals down, we record, we'll track their vocals. So, and then mix and master. Obviously, whatever's arranged, right?
It's very detailed.
It's very detailed. And if only I could, I'll have to bring you in one day to show you exactly how.
I need a flow chart to see how it all works. So now you mentioned stem. So was that sort of extra, I guess, beats or extra pieces of a song that you're allowed to play with and then manipulate in a way?
Those are, so if someone, so I should break down also what a producer is. A producer is, I know there's always a conversation between what's the difference between a producer and a beat maker. I think most of the time we're talking about beat makers, which are the individuals who are on FL Studio or whatever program, and they're the ones creating the beats from scratch. They find a melody, they find a sample, and they'll flip it, do this and that to it, add kick drums, add cool hi-hats, whatever. So the creator of the beat would be the producer or the beat maker. And then I know you can also be there's always a conversation. I'm not out here saying that I know the total, I'm not a producer in that way.
Right.
I'm probably more of a co-producer. I usually specialize in the drums, that they always come to me for the drums.
Okay.
That's always my addition. So for example, Gregory, my business partner, he'll go hunting for samples and he'll flip it, and then he'll get the melody down, this and that, and then add his bass, and he'll be like, yo, I need you for the kicks or for the drums. I'm like, I got you. Because I think as a DJ, rhythm is so inherent to us.
Absolutely.
So it's just, I know exactly in my head where I want to place it.
And definitely getting those tracks that are re-drummed so that they're easier to mix, and there's a bit more of a punch. And obviously for us to mix, right? It's hard when it's on a really faint beat. So I love producers, beat makers, and I love whoever, you know what I mean? Is able to put that together,
so
right?
Then a beat stem would be basically, let's say the producer he has now, the beat is fully composed, and now he has to export it for mixing for us to, level out everything and get everything, like I said, the facelift. So if they send it over, they can't send it as one complete file. Like a DJ would receive an MP3 or a WAV file. So for us to be able to mix something properly and have all the sounds arranged and actually, arrange the volume levels, we would need it's called the beat stem. So we would need I don't know, I'd have to show you the row of hi-hats has to be separate from the row of snares, has to be separate from the 808.
And that's, I guess, how, if I'm not mistaken, is that how producers, beat makers are able to kind of create their signature sound, because they're able to, within those layers, add a horn or a certain hi-hat or
For sure.
certain piano keys and stuff like that, right?
For sure.
So, yeah.
I have to salute, as a DJ, I salute producers and engineers to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as an engineer, of course, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I truly love it. And I still have the utmost respect for producers and beat makers, because they're the creators of the beats. And it's just like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to create great music and create your signature sound.
I could see why artists or individuals, they get pissed off when someone makes
Bites?
a beat and it's bites, like it's exactly the same beat, or it's 2 BPM off, and they're like, no, it wasn't that, but that they've stolen the essence of it and flipped it.
For sure.
But in a way where it's so mirrored and it's obvious, especially when they're pretending it's not. Like if they're obviously acknowledging it but giving a modern day twist, I think we all respect that because there's transparency.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you swagger jacket and then pretend it's not,
I feel like that's always going to be part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we know that, we just have to keep focusing on ourselves, because there's definitely things as a DJ that I'm thinking to myself, I feel like I brought that in the game, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I did that, and now, people are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but if they're doing it their style, like if someone totally took, I remember someone was inspired by me,
mm-hmm.
and they sent me a video clip, and they posted it of something that I had. It might have been just like a routine, a quick routine. I know I post like a bunch of, short routines on Instagram.
Yeah.
So the girl took the exact 2 songs that I made a mix with, and she did the same thing and said, inspired me, like, but she used the exact same 2 songs. To me, that's swagger jacking, because you didn't take my style and recreate it. You just took my style.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just part of the game.
And then just did kind of like the same type of video, or did she?
Yeah, same video and same cuts. And
okay,
yeah.
so it's just like, yeah.
So
just
that's
do that with no cameras on. Then,
yeah.
Then flip it and do something different.
But I don't think she knew that was, she looked at it as more inspiration. But I think I made a point, like, it sounded good. You may want to do this.
Yeah.
It is. I don't think she knew that it was. Maybe she did. I don't know that it was swagger jacking.
Yeah.
She felt super inspired. So I mean, I don't want to be rude, So I just kind of said, like, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Like, thanks for that, because I think I didn't know, and now I feel like I have a much fuller appreciation, understanding of what an engineer does, a producer, a beat maker, all that stuff. I remember just hip hop has been a genre of music that I've loved from my early teens, and I remember just dating myself, but being able to read the liner notes on tapes, CD covers, and really starting to understand with certain producers, getting familiar with their style, because of reading. Oh, who produced this? Oh, this was Trackmasters.
You always know,
this was
yeah.
Premiere. This was, you know what I mean? Easy Mo B. This was, the Shockley Brothers. This was whoever, right? And so just reading that, obviously today we don't really have that. We have to maybe dig a little bit deeper. But
right.
I guess they flipped it now, where they just say, you know what I mean? DJ Khaled, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's a drop with someone on there, so you know who produced it, right? DJ Mustard or whoever.
Well, we all need each other.
Mm-hmm.
The DJs can flip the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
The producers and beat makers flip the samples. They are the responsible for why music is there.
Yeah.
They create the instrumentals or the beats, and then the artist obviously plays a big role, because they have to go on the beats, and then the engineer has to put all the put the whatever is created from the artist and what's created from the beat maker, put that together in a way that you still have a lot of creative control as an engineer. Some artists are super, I want this, and this done, and do not modify it. Even if it sounds good, they just want 100% creative control. But we all need each other.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I agree.
Everyone plays a huge role, and it's a great thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think when people work collectively, I think really amazing things can happen.
When you get the right people in the room.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's the first. Well, maybe not obvious,
right.
but it's the first step, right? So I want to kind of switch gears a little bit, and so I guess I want to know how long you've been producing, and then I also want to know sort of what brought you actually into the music industry. So so start with how many years you've been producing, and then what brought you into the industry?
Producing or engineering?
Or sorry, I guess engineering. Yeah.
Engineering, yeah. So with engineering, I was shadowing probably for about 2 years, right? And throughout that time when I had first met the studio owner, from there, like, he just had a great appreciation for my talent and my craft. And at that time, I didn't really know like what engineering was all about. I really didn't. And then it went from, popping by the studio just to, connect with artists and engineers and producers and this and that. And then it came to a point where I'm like, okay, this is fun, but what are you doing there? What did you just do? It just became me asking 21 questions every 21 minutes. And I'm like, and I would just sit next to the engineer, just like real close. And I'm like, what did you do there? What does that do? And then he can't talk throughout a session. And he's not expecting someone to be interested in learning at like 12 a.m. And then then I quickly realized, like, I can't distract him from his work. So I'll ask him minimal questions, but at the same time, like, if they're important, I'll ask him. But until then, I'll just use my ears. So any adjustments that he's doing, and obviously my ears and eyes. So any adjustments he's doing, what is he doing? Why is he doing it? How is he doing it?
Right.
So I sort of just learned like that, and then over time, just started recording artists, and that's relatively new. And then it came at a perfect time. Thank you, COVID. So because I was DJing so much, it was like last year was crazy for me. It was almost nonstop, and I obviously it's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to, I guess, diversify my skills. So now engineering just, with COVID like happening, and I had sort of, I guess, more downtime with regards to wasn't able to DJ.
That's everybody.
Wasn't able to DJ. So I'm thinking, this is perfect. It's a perfect opportunity for me to pursue that right now, hone my skills, and continue with that.
No, I think COVID has been the biggest reset ever, right? So.
Yeah.
And then my next question. So what kind of brought you in? I guess it was DJing first, right?
Oh, in the industry in general?
Yeah. Like
that's a great question.
What kind of brought you into the industry?
It was my love of hip hop. So how I became a DJ was my true, like, my first true love was hip hop. Like, it's just like how Common said it. That felt like my story too, because I was so
hip hop. You're the love of my life.
It felt like, I don't know. I was so young when I discovered it, and it wasn't like it was around in my households or anywhere. I just remember, hearing like Old Dirty Bastard. I might have been like 12, and obviously there was no one that would have given me that music, So I started. The web was available to me, so I started searching, researching, and stole a few CDs from my uncle. Rest in peace. So my uncle, it was a Tupac double disc and an Eminem. It was a Marshall Mathers LP. So I stole those. I just listened to them, and then I would just research. Throughout grade school, I was researching while everyone was doing this and that. I was just doing my research, and I loved hip hop that much. I always wanted to know the most. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was in my competitive nature, but also in my most, my curiosity took me there. And then over time, I met one of my first mentors who got me into DJing, because he's like, I DJ. How do you know so much hip hop at this age? And I said, I don't know. How do you know so much hip hop? He's like, I'm 35, whatever. So like, over time, I eventually got around to going on his turntables, and I remember the first day that I actually touched the turntables. I didn't want to go on at all.
You were nervous?
I was just like, I don't think this is for me. I'm thinking in my head, like, this looks weird. It felt weird. It was like Bambi walking for the first time. That's how I felt. And
what was weird about it? Just seeing this.
There was no coordination. There was no coordination. Obviously, I hadn't been trained. I hadn't trained. So it's like with anything, if you want to become good, you need to practice. And I just didn't have that coordination or muscle memory built yet. Mm-hmm. So then what really sparked my interest was hearing scratching for the first time and seeing it live for the first time. So I learned scratching before mixing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's maybe an interesting entry point, but I think it would help you. So myself now, I'm an instructor. I've been at it about 10 years, and the last 3 I have an academy now.
Amazing.
And I think, it's interesting. I find most beginners struggle with.
We got a guest in the building. We got a guest in the building.
Come on in, brother.
Mr. Gregory Grimes.
Pull up a chair. I find that most people struggle with the split hearing and the bar counting. So I can only imagine figuring out how to actually scratch, how that would really help you with your mixing, because you get that timing down, right?
Well, with me, it was I learned scratching first, obviously, and a lot of it, actually most of it was self-taught. Mm-hmm. And I had mentors across, like, down my road that taught me, that always advanced me to the next level. Mm-hmm. But I kind of just learned by listening.
Okay.
And no one was, like, super experienced in teaching. So it was sort of like, just do this. I just remember one of my mentors going, just do this. And he would do, like, a movement and a sound. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. But I heard what he was doing. I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
So I learned the most technical stuff first, which attests to, like, why it was easier for me to become an engineer than maybe someone who has no background.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone who's not technical.
And did you find that when you started to mix then that things felt really slow for you when you actually started mixing? Like when you're DJing just song to song, did you find that it became easier for you because you had that technical aspect?
When I was first starting to play out, I didn't even know how to count.
Okay.
I was mixing a bunch of house songs because I had a consistent spot I was at in Kleinburg.
Okay.
So they needed like 5 hours of mixing, and I'm like, and they didn't want hip hop.
Okay.
But I was new to the game, and I'm like, okay, it's cool that I actually have gigs now. But I was mixing house, and the song structure was so different. Mm-hmm. It's because they have like 32 bar intros or 32 bar hooks, and
or
I'm
16
like
16 or 24.
Yeah, 16 24s. Yeah. So then over time, like, again, that was self-taught. I said, like, I kind of just dug deep into the internet again and did my research, or I would ask around and just say, like, but it was a lot of trial and error because I just had to teach myself, like, what's going on in this song, what's going on in the middle, like in the chorus or the hook, and what does it sound like. It was just it was all self-taught.
Right.
So it actually wasn't as easy as you think, because I'm going from something so free and no boundaries when it comes to scratching. Like, you can get away with a little bit of mistake, the regular ear won't pick up a mistake when you're scratching because it just sounds cool to do chirps or whatever. But any regular ear can pick up when your mixing is off.
Oh, totally.
So now I've perfected mixing as a DJ, and I develop my own. I teach as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to compare notes.
Yeah.
Get together. So we've had someone crash in on our interview in a good way. So this is like my first live interview. We're going to get back to T Junior, but maybe you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself quickly and what you do. And you're in the building, right?
Yeah, I'm in the building.
Yeah. You'd have to come over to the mic.
To the mic? All right. I actually had a short intro already for you early on in the interview. So we have Gregory Grimes next to me.
Gregory Grimes in the building. I do mixing, mastering, producing. I own a recording studio. We're actually in the same building.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Been doing it for my whole life, really.
And so, who taught you? I guess how to. How did you learn?
I'm a college dropout. Gonna keep it real, but I mean, I learned a lot in school when I went away So I learned a lot in school, and it was really a hobby, pretty much. That turned. My dad was a DJ, so
okay,
that's how I got into it.
So you always had like an interest or something that kind of pulled you, or you gravitated to music.
Yeah, I've been hearing it since I was in the womb.
So
much.
I gotta be honest, like I've seen her photo, in Grind Studios, and when I see that board, it is so intimidating. So how, I guess, what is it? Is it 132 channels? Is that how big
it's
the board?
overkill. The board is board is just for show. To be
so
honest,
you only focus on 5, and there's like an extra 180.
I don't even use any of the preamps on the board. I use the Apollos.
Okay.
So the board is honestly just for show, or just for like sometimes you want to get a little touch. Like, I don't know. Sometimes the feel of dialing down a knob is better than using a mouse. So sometimes, especially for volume, like I when you're trying to get it really fine, and the mouse just doesn't do it.
Okay,
it's too many decibels.
per
whatever. What do you call it?
Well, I'm gonna come down there because I want to maybe be given a light tutorial on how things work. I've been about 10 years in the game now, 7 years like fully self-employed. So I do corporates just like T Junior. I do weddings. I'm really a mobile DJ in the truest sense. I do a music and leadership program in the TDSB and across Durham.
Nice.
And I also run an academy. So everything for me is just like full tilt. But it's weird. Like I've tried to pull myself back from production and anything engineer because I feel based on my personality, like being so addictive that I'm just going to get lost in that world. But I think now that I'm getting a little bit more, mature as a DJ, I'm kind of like, it'd be nice to start doing some of my own edits, or it'd be nice to do some of this. So yeah, I'm interested.
It does pull you. I'll just say this quick. I started as a producer, and when I got into mixing, it pulled me in. And I just got back into producing recently, so it does pull you in.
I definitely believe it. I definitely believe it. Well, perhaps we'll have you on the pod in future to talk more. Yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll get you on. This is what we do. We podcast is music is everything, just like my hoodie here. I have merch, and the idea is to highlight club, corporate, wedding, and music professionals, just sharing best practices, but really just giving a spotlight to people on what they're doing, and also just to share. I mean, we all work our what's off, right? To produce something, to create an experience for people.
Right.
And that's what the podcast is about. So just trying to, raise the platform for people. So that's what we do here every Sunday night. Yeah.
You know what? I might just add this. You have
Please.
a very good voice for radio.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So back to you, T Junior.
Thank you for getting my name right. Appreciate it. T Junior.
I know. So I have so many questions. So let's dive into some more stuff about you now.
Oh man, I hate talking about myself.
No. Okay. This is your time. This is your time. So how did you actually arrive at your name?
So I didn't. Like my first mentor named me because I used to work for him, and my last name starts with T. So he would. My first name is Stephanie. Nobody knows that, but now everybody knows that. So he would always call me T or by my full last name. And I also have an older sister who eventually worked for him as well. And at one point he would just say T. If he needed to page me somewhere, it'd be T or my last name or Junior. And then afterwards I'm like, I like them both. Like, it sounds like a battle name. So I just combined it and that just rolled with it. But I never had any expectation or never thought that it would transpire into a career. I just thought it was cool, and it was like to Gregory's point, it's just all began as a hobby, so, and it just evolved, and it just organically turned into something.
And then, so I guess a couple questions I have for you is, so how long have you been DJing then?
Out?
Yeah.
As a,
just sort of like start to finish, like,
probably 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years?
3 years in terms of in a work aspect. But I tell people I've been DJing for 3 years, but I've been a DJ for 10 years.
Yeah. Because I feel like you've been at it a while, right? But
yeah. So it's, everyone has to put, I would say in any craft or any sort of skill job or what have you, that you have to put your decade in. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the heck 10,000 hours. I think is more than that. Mm-hmm. I really do.
Yeah.
So anyone who's put their decade in, that's the people we're working with right now. Decade or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know you've been doing a little bit during COVID on the engineering side. And then in terms of on the DJ side, has there been anything that you've been doing? Are you streaming?
Any gigs and stuff?
Yeah. Have you done any gigs maybe virtually? I'm just curious because I had DJ Grouch on. Right. I've had Michael Coombs on. I've had Spence Diamonds, DJ Tommy Thompson, a variety of DJs. We had Agile on as well, and just kind of getting a sense of
those are all the homies.
Yeah, what everyone is doing. And some people, and then also my boy Garrett the DJ, a really great mobile DJ, special event DJ. So some guys are not streaming. Some people are frequently. Some are just every now and again. So how about yourself? What are you doing?
Rarely streaming. I'm actually playing out. I started playing out at the beginning of July because I work at a lot of patios.
Okay.
So even when I was DJing over the years, I had a lot of patios that I was already doing because those are the vibes I like, and a few clubs here and there. I always like to mix it up. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to always put my all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And just rely on clubs. You're up till 4 a.m. every night.
Oh, don't you enjoy that?
Absolutely not. Sleep is good for you, but. It's kind of hypocritical of me to say because I'll be at the studio till that time. However, there's no crazy crowd near you.
I know.
Feel me?
I know.
So instead of being behind,
I feel like it's a different investment of your time, right?
That's exactly what it is.
So you're getting a much bigger return out of what you're doing. I think obviously the shelf life is.
Yeah, I mean, I like to mix it up. I think whatever works for you, what works for you. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like real estate in terms of the time and how do you want to use it. Mm-hmm. But for me, I still have a couple gigs that I'm at a few times a week. Obviously, a lot of the ones that I used to do were sporting events. Yeah. So obviously that
I know
we're not able to. I can't go DJ in the bubble.
Yeah.
But I also, like I said, teaching has been a big chunk that I'm grateful for too. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of great students.
That's awesome. I know. And so, what do you like about teaching?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us more.
When you teach, you learn twice, I think is how the saying goes. I'm probably butchering it, but every single time I do teach, I'm learning something new every time. Because to teach something, you have to know it inside out. Mm-hmm. So I already know so much. And the way I'm very systematic and I'm very specific in how I teach, what I'm going to teach, and what method. I'm very particular because I take a lot of pride in my work. And I obviously want my students to exude that.
Yeah.
And if they're learning from me, I want them to be good.
Absolutely. No, it's interesting. I think, we take the culture seriously, and I think really imparting it and leaving it in good hands.
Literally?
Yeah, literally. Pun intended. But I have friends that watch me, they're like, you're so serious. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to give people wrong information, and I want people to know exactly how to DJ, right? So I think for me, the proudest moment I have is when I see I call it the light bulb moment.
Yeah.
So you've been hammering away at a student, trying to get them to get a principle or just get over that hump to finally get it. And then when they put it together, it's like, yes, you did it, right?
And all my students have been from starting from scratch in terms of they bought the equipment, they're freshly new to DJing. Mm-hmm. And to see one of my students, and I think she's listening right now, so shout outs to Megan. She's been an amazing student, and she keeps saying it's because you're an amazing teacher. But honestly, she listens and she practices, and I give them homework, and if they don't do it right, I make them do it again.
Nice.
And it's almost like the teacher you kind of hate, but you really love.
But you love, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
so
always, the best ones are always like that. They say you're gonna hate me now, but you're gonna love me later.
Yeah.
That's what me being more of an athlete growing up, I didn't catch on to DJing until much later. That was always something that was repeated to me, and they were right. So it's
but
good that
her progress is crazy, and that's also that's taking everything that I've taught her from mixing, even the basics of turntablism and scratching, and now more advanced mixing and more advanced turntablism. And she is learning and applying everything. So,
oh, that's awesome.
So that's super rewarding. So I think with me teaching is that I get to perfect my craft even more, and you just love to inspire. I mean, I love to inspire others.
Yeah.
And see, okay, that was a product of what I taught this individual. So
no, it's
super rewarding. It's all positive.
Yeah, no, it's definitely very fulfilling. So I know there's, just checking out your bio, there's a lot of DJs that you have that I know you've kind of worked with or that have influenced you.
Right.
So yeah, can you talk to us about, well, sorry, I'll read them off. So Scratch Bastard, Headspin, DJ Craze, Turnstiles Crew, Turntable Monks, The Executioners. These are like all legendary DJs.
You did some good research. This
groups.
Is very accurate.
Mixmaster Mike, ISP, Four Color Zach, and a lot of others. So I guess I have a question specifically about Scratch Bastard because I heard you play last year at the barbecue and stuff. You had a really great set, by the way.
Thank you.
What I want to know out of all those DJs, if there was sort of a common thread, like what would it be about those groups or those individuals that inspire you as a DJ?
That's an amazing question. I think every single DJ you listed off had an influence from the beginning of my journey. Like, for example, like Mixmaster Mike might have been someone I looked up to in my early stages because that's when I was heavy into turntablism only. And just seeing what he did and learning the history of the X-Men and all these guys. And then actually going to the DMCs and meeting D-Scratch, DJ Grouch, Lil Jazz. So they're the legendary crew of Toronto and Canada, actually.
Yeah.
So that, like, I actually trained with D-Scratch for a while, like a few years ago. This is before I started playing out. But he took my scratching to a whole nother level, and he taught me beat juggling.
Okay.
So that's where I learned beat juggling. So he really broke down the fundamentals for me. The monks I met through him, and everyone around him, because that was a generation before me. So all those guys are super skilled, and obviously we always had scratcher events where DJs would just get together and just scratch it up 8 bars each.
Yeah.
And just go on rotation. And if you don't know how to count, they're going to kick you out the circle. That's just how it was. So, yeah, I'd say, like, everyone played a role at some point, either influence-wise or directly. With someone like Scratch Bastard, shouts out to Scratch Bastard. Like, he's super dope as a DJ, as a person, everything. He gave me a really big opportunity in 2017 when he was doing this thing called On Deck. So he'd have, pretty big DJs coming from like the States and stuff to Toronto. So I did an event with him, and then he'd have one local DJ, up and coming. So that time I was up and coming. So he gave me that opportunity, and I hadn't performed like that, but he still, he believed in me. He's like, I want you to be part of this. Like, if you agree to it. I didn't have that much time to put together a set, but I tried my best to tell a story like I usually do. So that kind of sparked up everything for me. And then the barbecue was just probably one of the best gigs of my life. It was just so dope. I was in my element. Everyone was in their element,
Well, I mean, it's a great festival for, it's just total B-boy stuff, right? So, and just hip hop and just the essence. So it's just, I know for myself, I'm not DJed at that level, but I think just being able to go into an event and having a singular focus is very freeing, as opposed to another type of event where you have to really spread the music around and your focus
freeing,
around, right? So you can just dive right in.
Sorry to cut you, but yeah, I remember reaching out to a few DJs before I was making my set, and just asking for advice in terms of like, what do you think I should do, or how was this experience for you on previous barbecues and this and that? And all of them said, just do you.
Yeah.
You do this. And I'm like, that's good advice. So I did exactly that. And I knew what the people wanted because I've been to those barbecues. And then I just knew I could go a little bit more underground. And not popular underground. I'm talking underground. Like Diamond D remix underground. Like, although everyone does know that, not everybody does.
Or the Jeep Beat remix.
Yeah.
I had a guy come up to me one time. He goes, I want this song. He goes, give me the Jeep remix. I was like, who are you? Like, you know your music. You're asking for a specific remix.
So then after that set, everyone's like, you know, I think my beard grew in thicker. You know, you started a bunch of fights out there. It was so hardcore, and I'm like, I was dead. I was just like, honestly, I wanted to bring in like, the rule in clubs is play for the girls. I did exactly the opposite at this event. I played for the guys, and everybody just came. But there's some hardcore girls there.
Yeah,
they knew their music,
and so it was just fun. So I'm gonna talk to you about that. I mean, maybe you're asked this a lot, maybe you're not. But I guess, yeah, like being a female DJ, I guess, do you feel that there's certain expectations of you to maybe play a certain way? Or have you kind of experienced like different energy from people where they're coming at you in a different way because you're a female? Has that been a thing for you, I guess, growing in the industry?
For sure, but I think that you have to do your best to manage these people. Like, so it's not so much do they expect me to play a certain way. It's almost, do they even expect me to play well? Because I've been at certain clubs downtown where, you know, I show up and they throw the sexist comments to you, such as, you know, well, this was a serious comment where one of the owners basically said, well, are you the opener? I said, no, I'm the headliner. He's like, well, do you know what to do? And I said, yeah. And I left it at that. And he's like, well, do you know what to play? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. I was like, how's the sound check? So like, I just knew that by the end of the night, it was going to be fine because I know what I do. Yeah. So, but if I ever went back, that was a one-off because I was covering for someone. But if I went there a second time, you kind of have to not put people in this place, but kind of let them know how to treat you.
Well, you have to like set those boundaries, right, in a professional way, because obviously you want to be booked for lots of gigs, but at the same time you don't want to be abused, right?
Yeah. So yeah, there's a fine line between that.
And I'm just saying that because when I thought about asking the question, right, I could only imagine that potentially for yourself, being in the position that you are, doing some of the events you are, and in the company of some of the DJs, that this probably would be a reoccurring question.
Yeah, for sure. We're as women, like honestly, as women, we always want to be respected no matter what. And then in this industry, of course, you want to be respected, but you obviously have to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously. I mean, I think in any industry, you need to produce, right? You need to show up.
That's the bottom line. Like, are you doing your job? Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, like you said, you know, I'm a female first. Yeah, I'm a DJ first, but I'm also a female first. So yeah, there are times where we are treated, you know, poorly or could be handled better, but I feel bad for some stories that I've heard of how other women's experiences have gone. Yeah. But I think with me, it's just what's worked for everyone's been, for the majority of my career, is like very respectful people to my face anyway. But everyone, I guess it's sort of like, how do you carry yourself? How do you talk to people? How do you know? Right.
And do you feel, I guess when I don't know, I got into it with someone online. I guess I guess with the lack of professionalism, I don't even know how to ask this question, but I don't know. I guess what are your thoughts on like influencer DJs? You know what I mean? So they have an Instagram and they have, I mean, 1 million photos, right, with 1 million different types of fashion styles.
Right. So
most aren't with lots of clothes on, but yet they're screaming at their lungs saying, "Hey, no one respects me as a DJ." Yeah. And I'm like, but when I look at your Instagram profile, all I see is you in a bathing suit. I don't even see you over a DJ set at all. I wouldn't even know that you're a DJ, but looking at your thing. So I actually got into it with a DJ, verified, and I was just saying, "Hey, listen, like, I'm not verified, but it's all good. I have my own opinion. You have yours." I said, "But you're mad saying on this podcast you don't know why people are looking at you only as an influencer DJ." But I'm like, but when I look at your Instagram, the first 15 slides, there's not even one photo of you over a deck holding headphones or even, I don't know, like with records under your arm or nothing, like nothing on your page. So I'm like, of course people would draw a different conclusion,
giving off the wrong impression. Well,
what are your thoughts about that?
Well, the way I look at it is, whatever you do, just do it and be good at it. That's the only rule. So I'm not really sure sometimes when it comes to influencers what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, and to me, they can carry on with whatever they feel is going to work for them, but I don't really feel that there's always too much longevity in that anyways.
Yeah.
So for me, as long as I'm doing my job and influencing younger girls and younger women, or even older women, into doing the right thing, then I'm doing my job. But I don't always feel that, the influencers
really
are really DJs, and I don't know, I guess that's their hustle.
Yeah.
But to say that DJing is the primary focus or the primary, you don't have to try hard to sell passion. You know who's passionate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think just the thing is that some are good. I mean, I heard this DJ in particular talk about learning on turntables, so I would imagine that they're probably pretty technical.
Right.
But I think my dig at her was just that you're presenting a different image. So when you're being labeled
there's
as
a little bit of
influencer,
conflict. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and then you're getting mad that everyone's coming at you a certain way, but it's like, this is the energy you're putting out, right?
Exactly. And it goes for any job. It is still very male dominated, right? So let's look at any other male dominated industries. Mechanics are very male dominated, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
So now if a female, I'm sure there's female mechanics, but they do not show up in bathing suits.
No.
So
definitely not good with grease around.
Yeah. As a female, you are definitely allowed to be sexy and allowed to love your body and, show your body and do whatever you want, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, at least personally, it's DJing first, and that's my priority. So I just want to be good at that. That's the thing I want to be good at.
Right.
And that's the thing I want to show people that I'm good at. And then everything else, you sometimes get to know Stephanie, right? Not T Junior. You sometimes get to see her. You sometimes get to know a little bit about her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. But your primary focus should be, whatever you're promoting.
Right.
As your job or your career skill. And like I said, I think we all know where longevity lies.
Absolutely. So we have hopefully still a little bit more time with you after the 10 o'clock hour. I got like another segment that I want to finish with you. But before we get to 10, maybe this is kind of a 2.5 minute response before we pay our bills at the top of the hour.
Right.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your connection and your affiliation with Foreign City. You're talking about promotion, so I know that they're a big sort of DJ conglomerate, and so I was just wondering what you can tell us about your involvement with them and how things work with Foreign City.
Foreign City at the very beginning. So a few years ago, I was just looking for sort of DJ agencies. Like I told you, when I first started playing out,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how does this even work? Just trying to figure out Toronto and navigate this city and how it even works. So I met Ryan Horn, the president of Foreign City Music, and I was working for his company as a DJ for months and maybe 1 year before I actually met him.
Oh, wow.
But
okay.
he'd seen my resume, and then he had a few partners that were, working and looking through the DJ applications, and they reached out and approved mine. And
yes,
yeah, I did good work, I guess, because they kept giving me gigs, after a year.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know what Foreign City was. I just knew that, okay, I reached out. I guess I can get some work through them. But it's a huge, I think first and foremost, it's a home for DJs in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, it's like a conglomerate, but which it kind of is sort of like a DJ collective first and foremost.
I think is a little bit rare in Canada because
in
I
general,
think there's not a lot of agencies. I've done some subcontracting under some other outfits from like the States, but I don't know of many like that in Canada or even Toronto other than these guys, right?
Yeah. And so it was more than an agency or a corporate sort of agency that doesn't care about the DJ culture. Well, I shouldn't say that, but that's sort of the feel that I get from the corporate, I guess, agencies. It's very just transactional, I should say.
Right.
Right? So with regards to Foreign City, it's sort of like, feels like a family, feels like a home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, DJ events, and over time I kind of help, curate some of the events and help be a part of the team.
Right.
And just, grow my status in foreign city.
I like it. I like it.
So
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna get you to pause. We're about 30 seconds at the top of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, here on the Music is Everything podcast with DJ T Jr. and CEO of Grinds Recording that just dropped in. And we're gonna take a little commercial break here at the top of the hour. This is the Music is Everything podcast, DJ Elegance. We're gonna come back after the 10 o'clock hour with a little bit more with our special guest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is Jamie Sparks, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is Jermaine Robbins, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Yo, this is Kiana O'Quinn, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Lavinia J from the UK, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in cyberspace? This is The Groove Show with your boy, the crowd pleaser, DJ Mark Anthony. Don't forget, each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m., we want to put you in the mood for whatever the night has in store. I'm playing only the best feel-good, party rocking, body-shaking music from funk to soul to reggae to R&B, house to salsa, and much, much more. We call it The Groove each and every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked. It's the crowd pleaser, baby. You know how we do. We'll see you on the air. Peace.
Attention à tous les musiciens, groupes, associations, clubs et organisations qui représentent les styles collectifs de musique à travers le Canada. Le moment est venu de reconstruire nos genres de nations musicales collectives comme le hip-hop, le R&B, le jazz, le soul, le reggae, le gospel et plus unis. La Nation de la musique collective est une organisation à but non lucratif engagée dans le développement de la musique collective. Des adhésions gratuites sont disponibles dès maintenant. La Nation de la musique collective, une seule voix, la force dans l'unité.
Hey. Hello and welcome. It's your girl Claude, aka Miss Ouch, right here on iLive UK. Be sure to tune into my shows each and every Saturday between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. My shows are called The Independent Injection because you can expect to hear deep and meaningful, fresh neo and bassline soul, slow jams and gospel mixed with a little bit of nostalgia. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
That's amazing. I need to read that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at the top of the hour with, it's Greg, right? Gregory
Grinds.
From Grinds Recording Studio, just down the hall here at the, I guess, iLive Studio office, and I guess, I don't know what this whole complex is called, but in the complex here, there's so many different creatives and things happening, so we're glad he's joined us. He owns a recording studio down the hall, and our special guest for this evening, T Jr., is a DJ, turntablist, and also an engineer who also assists him in the space. And we've been chopping up on the on the Music is Everything podcast, just about her journey, learning a little bit about her beginning, how she started scratching, a lot of those things. So for everyone on the outside of the iLive community and people watching on Facebook, we want to big you guys up and thank you. I guess I'm seeing a Kedra Brown said, Stepas. So you're known out here. So.
What's up, KJ? Respect for tuning in. Super dope, a graffiti artist, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back at it. So what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is we just kind of ended up on what you do with Foreign City, and I guess I wanted to learn a little bit more about how did the DJ, what's the word I'm looking for? Your DJ path into battle DJing.
Oh, right.
So I know that for the listeners, there's sort of traditional DJing, which is just mixing and blending, and then there's battle DJing, where scratches are incorporated and a lot of tricks in order to create a different effect with the music. So I'm wondering if you could just talk to us a little bit about how you got into that, and then what would someone need to do to prepare
Got you. So when it comes to DJ battles, I'd say it's a DJ's version of a rap battle. So if you see Eminem in Detroit, how he used to rap battle, be in those battles, that's like how we feel about our DJ battles. Especially back in the day, they were actually even tougher because you actually got booed. So it was rough out here. But for me, I'd say I did a lot of my first online DJ battle was probably in 2015. But then I was obviously working my way up to doing the live ones. And it was super intimidating at first just because I knew that I had certain expectation of myself and the fact that I potentially was the only female, which was the case in my first live battle. It was a 2-minute scratch battle for the DMCs. And
2 minutes is not a lot of time.
It was myself versus 15 other males. So now I'm thinking like, okay, whatever. Let's just break the ice. So I did that scratch battle, and it didn't go as planned. I'll tell you why. The person before me actually, the way that they scratched, their style of scratching on the mixer, they were hamster style or reverse fader. So, which is to say, like, is the opposite of how I control my crossfader.
Right.
So now when I go on stage and I'm doing my cuts, I can't hear any sound because every time I bring it into the open position, that would have been the closed position for the individual before me. But then I quickly, so I just had overlooked that just before my set because we didn't have enough time to practice. There's a lot of contestants.
So just pause for a second. So just for the listener understanding the way you would scratch with the fader back and forth, essentially what happened to T Junior would be equivalent to having your shoelaces tied together as you sprint a 100-meter race, and you're going, what the heck is going on? My shoelaces should be tied individually on each shoe, right? Is that a good...
Damn, I don't think it was that bad because, I untied them real quick. I'll tell you that.
I meant in terms of the confusion, right? You start out, you're like, why are my shoelaces tied? It would be like, why is everything going backwards, right? Because you're not used to the fader position, so...
Or maybe having the shoes swapped.
Yeah, it's left with right.
So then quickly I'm like, oh, okay, I put it on off. Like I put it on the off, position or whatever. And then I think starting from scratch was the host, so he was really dope. But at the beginning, I was like, I couldn't hear no sound. And then obviously it was 2 minutes exactly. So I freestyled like 70% of it.
Oh, wow.
And because it's scratching and nothing else, I was able to pull it off.
Okay.
And my friend won that, but that was me breaking the ice for myself. And then I think it might have been 2 years later. I had my eye on Red Bull Freestyle for a while.
Yes.
And I had talked about it for probably 1 or 2 years. 1 year for sure. I talked about it every month.
Okay.
And then some of my friends were like, "You keep talking about it. Like, when are you gonna do it?" I'm like, next year. And then 1 year, finally, I said to myself, I'm just gonna put together my best 5-minute submission and freaking, and just submit.
And how long did you practice to get that submission to?
It was 4 months for 5 minutes.
Wow.
Right? 4 months for 5 minutes, just trying to put it together and get everything on time, practice it. I really wanted to just get into the battle.
Yeah.
I didn't care even if I won or didn't win. I really wanted to be part of the Red Bull.
Right.
So then I said to myself, I'm going to put together my best 5 minutes, practice it until, I lose every friend around me because I'm never out of my house. So, I was giving up gigs. I was turning away a lot of gigs at that time, just at the expense of, I want to be in this battle. So a few months later, I heard back and I was like, yes. But then I was like, no, I have to do 15 new minutes.
And you're like, I need half a year now.
I was like, I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared to hear back. So I'll tell you, like, it takes a lot of time and practice and patience. And what I ended up doing was, because only the judges hear your first 5 minutes and the world doesn't, I used my first 5 minutes because I had no time. I used the first 5 minutes and built off of that. I built 10 minutes off of that.
Okay.
So that was my and then the competition was in Vancouver. And it was really cool because it was with a lot of my peers, my DJ peers.
Yeah.
So I was, there's a lot of trash talking, and obviously I dissed one of my peers, Trapman. He was the only one that got some airtime on my thing, but one of the judges was laughing hard.
I met him a couple times. He seems like a riot. Like he
is.
He seems like a really fun guy.
Yeah, he's dope.
Wow. So it's a lot of preparation, and yeah. I mean, kudos to you. I mean, I've followed Red Bull for several years, and just seeing the technical aspect and the amount of work that everyone puts into it, I just like big up all the DJs, right?
Yeah, I'll say like the national winners earned it, and the international, like the first place, whoever gets first place, and I think earned it. So Trapman got first place. He was so good. He out DJ'd everybody. I was happy to place. I didn't expect for my submission to get accepted, and then let alone place third in the country and being the only female ever in the history of Red Bull in Canada to do that. So I was proud of that. You know what I mean? So, and I'm really...
Hold on, pause.
I love the quarantine crowd. No, but
settle down, guys. Settle down. No, I mean, that's ratings.
That reminded me of the Mad Rapper. We're going to try and find out why. Shouts out to Biggie. But yeah, that was, I always want to inspire and achieve my goals. So those are two things that kept me going.
Yeah. And then do you feel that has helped your brand, like your presence, as it opened up new doors and different connections? Like, could you talk to us just quickly about maybe some positive things that have come from that experience?
I think all around. I don't think I can name one thing and be like, this happened because of this, but I think it's sort of, I would look at it as building your resume, and that's one of my credentials, right? So I was able to go on Shade 45 and drop a set, and then that, when they're reading my bio, now they're saying, okay, national, placed third in nationals for Red Bull Freestyle, and has done DMC competitions. So it's just, I have those under my belt now.
Yeah.
And you kind of just earning your stripes, and that's just kind of, it's part of the whole package.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I mean, one thing oftentimes I would talk with my students about is just trying to build your brand, right? And
yeah, that too, for sure.
I think as creatives, we have to leverage every opportunity to distance ourselves from the pack, right? But I think, it sounds like the dedication and work that you put into it is already going to vault you ahead of so many others, because not everyone is willing to put in that level of work. Like it's a lot of work, right, to get prepared for that type of battle. So it's literally like for those on the outside, the iLive community, everyone listening to the podcast, Red Bull Freestyle or DMC Championship would be sort of the Olympics for DJs.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so
that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, you're like, if you're a sprinter, you're training 4 years to run under 10 seconds, right? And it just all happens so fast. So just to put it in relation. So we're going to move forward with a couple more questions, and I'm going to get into this last section that is a really fun section. It's called Rapid Fire. Okay. And but before I get there, I want to ask you, so you're doing Red Bull, there's your connection with Foreign City or engineering. I guess, what is sort of your goal? What is T Junior's goal maybe over the next 2 to 5 years? Like, where do you see yourself, or what do you see yourself doing?
I see myself, continue what I'm already doing, and just continue evolving my business and my brand. With regards, to DJing, I want to continue teaching and have that continue to grow, and definitely teach all ages and almost anywhere. I can teach anyone anything I feel. Continue DJing at venues. Once traveling is a thing.
Oh my gosh!
We were actually supposed to go on tour this year with one of our artists, Hollywood Sos. So obviously that wasn't able to happen with everything COVID. So, but touring is definitely on the list for me, and on the future outlook. Continue to evolve and grow as far as engineering goes with my business partner Grinds. So kind of just, I'm looking at the big picture with regards to all aspects of music, and continuing to do what I do. Yeah.
No, it sounds exciting. So I guess we had a question from the outside. part of my creative team, Miss Black Spinese, and she wanted to know, I guess, the name of the school and how would someone connect with you for lessons. So is there a name for the school, like your school, or is it just?
Well, I would just reach out to myself directly.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
As the school is, until the school is officially, out there.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, but people have been reaching out directly through referrals, everything. So it's been a blessing. So I would just reach out to myself directly. A lot of people reach out through Instagram, but across all social media, my handle is at DJ T Jr. at DeeJayTJR.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect. All right, so we're gonna get to this last section. This has been great. I've learned a lot about you, and it's been awesome just getting to vibe with you guys here tonight. Tonight's my first studio guest, and I guess law of attraction. Then another one came in, so it's kind of cool how it's multiplied from just 1-on-1 to 1-on-2. So it's awesome. So this is called Rapid Fire. Really, all I want you to do is just kind of give a one-word response as best as possible. And
it's like
I'm gonna
Family Feud at the end.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a question. So, what is your dream car?
Damn it. I don't know.
I'm not sure of that make. Do they have a make called Damn It?
I don't know. A Lambo truck.
Which one?
Lambo truck.
Okay, Lambo truck. I didn't even know they had those. Okay, I'm learning continually. Okay, so some of these are going to be music related, some not so music related. Okay, so what's your favorite food?
I don't really care too much as long as it's healthy.
Okay.
So for me, it's salmon, vegetables, and rice.
All right.
I like chocolate.
And your favorite artist of all time?
Damn, you're gonna say that?
Yeah, I went there.
God darn. The first person that came to mind was Nas.
Okay.
But you know whose lyrics I know inside out, and I have to say is my favorite of all time is Eminem.
Eminem, okay.
Yeah.
You know what, for some reason, because I just following you on Twitter, I kind of thought maybe you'd be more Biggie for some reason.
I love Biggie too.
And then Mob, I see you doing like a lot of their tweets, right? So
for sure Mob too, but because I mean I discovered Eminem so young, and just I expressed myself through music first and foremost. So I never wanted to communication was just the last mode. Like verbal communication. I like to write. I like to do everything but really talk. So music helped me with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm crazy.
No, I mean I've watched some stuff on Eminem, and his I guess what is it, prose or his writing style is like very, very complex.
Yeah.
And very, very advanced. So it's not a coincidence that he's not one of like top 10 MCs of all time, right? So let's move on to something else. So I know you're a sneakerhead.
Right.
So what is your favorite sneaker to rock?
Air Max 90.
Air Max 90?
Got them on right now, yeah. They're the most comfortable. They're the perfect size. They're perfect width, everything. Like they're the perfect shoe. I've been rocking them since day one. So Air Max 90.
And do you DJ in them as well, like whenever possible, or?
100%.
Yeah. Me too.
Even if it's in Yorkville.
Yeah.
You know how I'm showing up.
You got to be comfortable. What's the most memorable party that you've spun at?
It has to be Bastards Barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just the perfect day, the perfect weather, food, environment, crowd, song selection. Day. Yeah, because when I play out, I think everyone thinks I'm always playing Mobb Deep. I never play Mobb Deep. Most of the venues want stuff that people want to listen to when they eat. I mean, when I want to listen to Mobb Deep when I eat, but most people don't. So I play a lot of Afro, Latin, deep house, soulful, like soul food vibes. So Bastards Barbecue gave me the opportunity to dig in the crates and actually do what I do.
Yeah. It's good to throw people off a little bit and not allow yourself to be pigeonholed, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then what is your favorite part about rocking a crowd?
What's my favorite part? It's probably interacting with the crowd and just feeding off of each other's energy. Because I remember another memorable event was I shout out to Diggy, the DJ, who I was spinning with that night at the Drake Underground sometime last year. But the crowd was just like, they were so reactive. and then I would interact with them, and they were very receptive to my energy and vice versa. And they were receptive to like all songs that I was playing, and it didn't have to. And they were a younger crowd, and I knew that okay, if I play a whole trap set, it's gonna make them happy. But I also played it in such a unique way. I wasn't playing just trap. I mixed it up in such a way to like, I don't know, it's kind of like mind control. but they were loving it. It was just, I guess, the energy between the crowd and the DJ.
Yeah,
it's super special.
You get some of those nights, and it's just. It doesn't matter what you play, you just have them around your finger.
Yeah.
And it's just such an amazing feeling to leave, and you're just like, I smashed that.
Yeah.
Like, I just totally crushed that party, and then everyone's patting you on the back.
Yeah.
And it's just such a
if
great
everyone's
feeling,
happy,
right?
and you get to see that you are a source of their dopamine and their happiness, that's super rewarding too.
No, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna end with our last question. Is if you could DJ one party for any fallen artist, so an artist who's no longer with us, who would it be?
Big L.
Big L. You're gangster. Big L, man. Honestly, Big L in 2020 with social media would be insane.
I know. I think
it would be so insane.
And I mean, you can just tell how much the DITC crew loved him, and how big. Oh man, an old dirty bastard. Okay, both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be a pre-party and then an after-party.
After-party, yeah, because both of them
pre-party Big L and a crazy after-party with
because both of them were so loved by their crews and everyone around them. You can just feel their energy. Like I just see it no matter what till this day. Like how much Lord Finesse loved him, as a brother.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely feel their spirits and their energies.
Mm-hmm.
So I would choose both of them, for sure.
I'll let you cheat and have that. So listen, it's been so awesome having you on the podcast. My first in-studio interview, the iLive radio community. Want to big up everyone on the outside listening. We're going to jump into my set to kind of round out our evening from now till 11. But before I jump to my set, I guess I have two last questions, super simple.
Okay.
Any final thoughts that you want to share with our listeners, or any other DJs, young or old, that might be looking to do something a little bit different or transition in a different way? Any last thoughts, words of wisdom, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would say music and water is the answer, but mainly music. So make sure you drink a lot of water, but make sure you listen to a lot of music, because most times it helps with everything. Almost like 100% of the time, it always helps. No one ever regretted listening to a song after anything. So you feel mad, listen to music. You feel sad, you listen to music. So if you feel like that's an outlet for you, or you don't know it's an outlet, it can become one. So and if you don't think DJing's in you, you don't know until you try. So I would, I want to continue inspiring everyone, young and old. And if anyone wants to learn from me, then I'm happy to teach. Just reach out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, in speaking of reaching out, now's the time for you just to kind of plug all the spots where people can find you on social media. If it's to connect with you for a booking, and they want to get at you, or in regards to the DJ school,
right?
Or maybe you're an artist listening on the outside and you want to get some help or some mentorship around having someone work on a project for you. So, like, how can people find you on social media to connect with you?
So across all social media, it's at DJ T Jr. So at DEEJAY TJR. A lot of people reach out. I'm most active, I'd say, on Instagram, and then Twitter. If any artists are listening, or any producers or beat makers, anyone wants recording, mixing, mastering, then I would reach out to at grinds_recording. So GRINDZ_recording.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So there you have it. I want to thank Gregory Grinds and DJ T Jr. for dropping in. My voice is shot. I've been doing all kinds of stuff today. But
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. We learned so much about you. So there you have it, guys. Music is Everything podcast. DJ Elegance, DJ T Jr., Grinds Recording Studio. You know where to find them. Get at them. And right about now, guys, we're going to get into a little set to round out the rest of our evening to the top of the hour. And here we go. We're going to play a little music.
Oh, dope.
What you doing? Really? You know I'm coming over, right?
Yeah, baby, tell me what you wanna do.
You got a heart for me already, baby. Okay. Be in there about, give me 10 minutes. Be ready. Hey, with that little thing I like.
Yeah, baby, tell me what you wanna do.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. Oh yeah, I got a real pretty little thing that's waiting for me. I pull up, anticipating good love. Don't keep me waiting. I got plans to put my hand in places I've never seen. Girl, you know what I mean. Let me take you to a place nice and quiet. There ain't no one there to interrupt. Ain't gotta rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Yeah, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me.
See, I've been waiting for this for so long. We'll be making love until the sun comes up. Baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Yeah, baby, tell me what you wanna do.
Now here we are, driving around town, contemplating where I'm gonna lay it down. Girl, you got me saying, my. I wish that I could pull over and get this thing started right now. I wanna do something freaky to you, babe. I don't think they heard me. I wanna do something freaky to you, babe. So call out my name.
They call me USHERRAYMOND. And baby, tell me what you wanna do with me. Got a nigga feeling like show to see. Every time that you roll with me, holding me, trying to keep control of me nice and slowly. You know, never letting go, never messing up the flow. This is how the hook go. Come on.
Take you to a place nice and quiet. There ain't no one there to interrupt. Ain't gotta rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Now, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me.
See, I've been waiting for this for so long. We're making love until the sun comes up. Baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow.
Now, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me.
Now tell me, do you wanna get free? Cause I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you like no one has ever made you feel. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you freaking like no one has ever made you feel, yeah.
Now, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me.
Yes, yes.
Now, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me. Now, baby, tell me what you wanna do with me.
Music with Everything podcast. DJ Elegance here. R&B flavor.
Hold on tight. Yeah, that hold on tight. Hold on tight. Them lips won't let me go.
Yes.
Hold on tight. Yeah, that hold on tight. Oh, that hold on tight. Them lips won't let me go. Don't let this go to your head. But you're the best I've ever had. Not to mention, the thing is swollen. He got me on so in a trance. Something like a ziplock. Put a lip lock. Once you wrapped around my arm like a wristwatch. Oh, so hard walking out. Got me stuck like crazy glue. Ooh, and hold on tight. Yeah, hold on tight.
podcast.
It's like adrenaline. Ooh, when you got me in a gridlock.
With your boy DJ Elegance. This is how we get down.
Spot. Got the turned up kind of love and it just won't stop. No. So hard walking out. Got me stuck like crazy glue. Ooh, we. Yeah, hold on tight. Yeah, hold on tight. Ooh, then hold on tight. Them lips won't let me go. Lips won't let me go. Ooh, then hold on tight. Yeah, that hold on tight. Ooh, then hold on tight. Them lips won't let me go.
Here we go.
Up this morning,
DJ Elegance.
TV saying something about disaster in the world, and it made me wonder where I'm going. There's so much darkness in the world, but I see beauty left in you, girl. And what you give me lets me know that I'll be alright.
Let's do that one more time. It's been a great night. Music is Everything podcast with your boy DJ Elegance. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We getting down. Some slow jams. Take you out on your Sunday evening. iLive Radio. This is how we do it.
Up this morning,
yes,
and heard the TV saying something about disaster in the world, and it made me wonder where I'm going. There's so much darkness in the world, but I see beauty left in you, girl. And what you give me lets me know that I'll be alright.
Oh yeah, we keeping it sexy. Let's go.
'Cause if your love was all I had in this life, well, that would be enough until the end of time. So rest your weary heart and relax your mind. 'Cause I'm gonna love you, girl, until the end of time. You got me singing, oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 yeah. Everybody sing, oh, 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 yeah. Everybody sing, oh, oh, yeah. Every time I close my eyes,
Oh, come on.
wake up feeling so horny. I can't get you out of my mind. Sexy, you'll be all
Classic material.
I would give anything just to make you understand me. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Freaking you is all I need. I need your body. Yeah, you, I would give it, baby.
Music is Everything podcast. This is how we get down. some classic flavor.
Cause making love every time we do, girl, it hurts dangerous. Cause I'm an addict of you, and you know that I can't leave you alone. You got me feeling, got me going crazy. I can't leave you alone. You got me said I'm feeling for you. I don't ever mind. It's all going on you, baby. Girl, I'm so strung out. All I do is wish for you.
Let's go.
If you're not here, then girl, I'm down. So I need you near. I just wanna make it through the night, baby. So hold me tight, then girl, I'm
Here we go. Classic material.
Girl, you got everything that I need. Got everything that I need. I can't leave you alone. You got me feeling.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Slow jams. Musically Everything podcast.
Never seen a sunshine like this. Never seen the moon glow like this. Never seen the waterfalls like this. Never seen the lights off like this. Never dug anyone like this.
If you know the words, just sing along.
Tasted lips to kiss. Never had someone to miss. Never heard a song quite like this. Fortunate to have you, girl. I'm so glad you're in my world.
If you know the words, just sing at home.
As the sky is blue, I'm blessed today that I found you. Boy, you never find another love as good as this. Ooh, so you better represent. No, 'cause my love is the
Bomb, baby. Bomb, baby.
girl. You'll never find another as good as this. Oh no, baby. So you better represent. 'Cause my love is a bomb, baby. Bomb, baby.
You keep telling me on the telephone how you got it going on and how you keep me satisfied. Ooh, yeah. But actions speak louder than words. I'ma see what I've heard. Is it true or do you lie? 'Cause I need somebody giving nothing but the loving all through the night. Oh yeah, someone to break me up a little something when I need to be satisfied.
DJ Elegance.
You're in the mix.
See, baby, you're my little secret. I won't tell.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Baby, you're my little secret.
R&B flavor. Music is Everything podcast. DJ Elegance.
And that's how we gotta
Let's
keep
go.
Did anybody see ya come into my house when I got your message in my beeper that you wanna do everything I like? Alright, alright.
I like being in the same room with you and your girlfriend. The fact that she don't know that really turns me on. She'll never guess in a million years that we got this thing going on. You're my sweet.
It's about you, it's about me.
Glad you came into my life. You plugged me with your love, with you
Flavor.
I'm wide open, and I'm doing things I never do. But I feel so good, I feel so good. Why'd it take so long, me finding you? This is my story, and I'm telling you, it's not fiction, it's surely a fact. Without you right here, having my back, I really don't know just where I'd be at. My whole life has changed. My whole life has changed. You came in, I knew back then you were.
I'm in the studio with my R&B arms out.
You are so in love, so deep in love. You made my life complete. You are so sweet, no one can be. Glad you came in my life. You got me with your love.
DJ Elegance.
Baby, take a bite. I just wanna baby, you and I can have a good time. Tell me what you like.
Now listen, I've been single for a while now, and I've been kind of lonely. But I'm looking for somebody to talk to, love me, someone who can hold me. Is that you?
I'm looking for somebody I can call who. Looking for the only one that I can give my all to. Tell me if it's you. What you wanna do? Make a move. You can be my teacher, I'll do homework. You can give me extra credit, baby, I'll do more work. What you wanna do?
Here we go.
And you. Save me here and there, 'cause baby, there's no to spend my life with you. I'll give my all to you. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song? She really needs to hear this love song. She's looking at me kinda hard, I can tell the things ain't right on the home front. What she really needs is a G like me to beat it. I can see how you want it, baby.
Yes.
Wish your man wasn't here with you, baby. I can see curiosity. Got you wanna try me. Homeboy can't please ya. On this wall in the open, baby. You and Kev, the crowd was watching, baby. You want it, I know it. Got a notion to pull your wings up out of here. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song? She really needs to hear this freaking love song. Look at you. She's looking at me kinda hard, I can tell the things ain't right on the home front. I know. What she really needs is a G like me to beat it. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song? She really needs to hear this freaking love song. She's looking at me kinda hard, I can tell the things ain't right on the home front. What she really needs is a G like me to beat it, baby. I got things that I wanna say.
Let's go.
Won't you meet me in the bathroom?
I hope you're at home singing at the top of your lungs.
If a nigga come through, babe, I know he ain't treating you right, lady. Look at your bad ass. Ooh. DJ, won't you play this girl a love song? She really needs to hear this freaking love song. She's looking at me kinda hard, I can tell the things ain't right on the home front. She really needs is a G like me to beat it.
DJ Elegance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me start by saying sorry.
Hey.
Some days I take your time for granted. You could be the star in my universe. If I just took time to plan it, told me secrets you ain't wanna. Trust is big for you, that's why I'm keeping it 100. Crazy wanna, in common just keeps us apart when we should be starting to keep our promises. We could be promising. You say I'm closed off. Let's open up and take our clothes off. I don't want nothing in between us. Nothing there to stop the feeling.
Yes.
I don't want nothing in between us.
I see you on the outside.
Got me thinking this might be
I Live Radio, that's how we get down. Music is everything podcast. Here we go.
Don't be sorry, just be careful, baby. You know my heart is fragile. Don't say shit that you don't really mean, 'cause that's just hard to handle. I love how it was when it was just me and you. They know the truth, so we gon' watch how we move. But nothing beats the feeling that you're giving me, even if it ain't forever. Ooh, just keep it honest. We made some promises, they got opinions, but that won't change a thing. We got each other, let's shut the world off and take our clothes off.
I don't want nothing in between us.
Ooh, oh.
Nothing there to stop the feeling.
More music, more flavor.
I don't want nothing else between us. Got me thinking this might be. Yes, sir.
Baby, baby.
I ain't here to play no games, I'm gonna give it to you. Just how you want it. You can call me crazy.
Are you kidding me?
You just drive me crazy.
Are you kidding me?
You touch me. Hands up at attention. You make it stand up and switch up on it. Make your head go round and round and got me making sounds until the morning. Oh, you got me saying oh, you got me saying Damn, ain't no limit what I'm pulling when I call you. Hey,
New Tiana Taylor.
talk that shit, play with that, and watch it rain on you. Hey, funny how you thought I took the will we was getting, we're just getting started. Ooh, hit it, quit it, then let's get it, lick it, get, feel it, touch it. Ooh, it's in your mouth, your tongue on
DJ Elegance.
I ain't here to play no games, I'm gonna give it to you just how you want it. You can call me crazy, baby, you just drive me crazy when you touch on it. And my legs up, hands up, at attention, you make me stand up and switch up on it.
New music, new flavor. Party next door.
You're not ready. Spend the night, baby. It's always another day. Praying on my parade. It seems like you're scared. What I wanna do to you, I wanna go to bed. Damn, babe. Whoa. It's always another day. It's always another day. I'ma put them off and gay. I'll push the bottle away if you stop me when I'm getting bored. I'm your little sister, heartless. Wake up at me in the morning and say, you don't regret it, baby. What I gotta prove to you.
Smooth out. Slow jams. I Live Radio. Let's go.
I just don't think you're ready. You're not ready. Spend the night with me. It's always another day. Praying in the mockery. It seems like you're scared. What I wanna do, you I wanna go to bed. So scared.
Yes. iLiveRadio.com. I want to big up all the listeners on the outside. Music is Everything podcast.
I'm your little angel, make your stars align. Say I'm always on your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, mine. I'm your little angel, wanna spoil me. Say I'm always on your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, your mind, mine.
More music, more flavor. About 7 more minutes left in the mix. Music Everything podcast. DJ Elegance. Let's go. It's all about R&B slow jam vibes tonight. Want to thank our special guest T Jr. for dropping in tonight. More music. Let's go.
Got me like what you want from me. And try you put it on the price too high. Baby, you got me like you love when I fall apart. So you can put me together and throw me against the wall. Baby, you got me like don't you stop loving me. Don't quit loving me. Just start loving me. Oh, and babe, I'm fist fighting with fire just to get close to you.
Sing it, Rihanna.
Burn something, babe. And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain.
Yes.
That's got me feeling this way. It beats me black and blue, but it loves me so good, and I can't get enough. Must be love on the brain, yeah. And it keeps cursing my name. No matter what I do, I'm no good without you, and I can't get enough.
just to get close to you. Could we burn some, babe? And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on the brain that's got me feeling this way. It beats me black and blue, but it tells me slow foot, and I can't get enough.
More R&B flavor.
DJ Elegance.
I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I need love and affection. And I hope I'm not sounding too desperate. I need love and affection. Love, love, love.
Yes, yes.
Love and affection. Love, love. L-O-V and affection.
Oh, baby, I'm not asking for the world, maybe. You can give me what I want, baby. Come hold me tight, and when I'm trying to save me, give it to me on a daily. If I'm your girl, say my name, boy, let me know I'm in control. We both grown, so how we feel, we can let it show. I won't play around, I wanna lay you down. I need you now, I need you now.
I don't wanna give you the wrong impression. I need love and affection. And I hope I'm not sounding too desperate. I need love and affection. Love, 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 love and affection. Love, love, L-O-V.
Woke up this morning, found a letter that she wrote.
Yes,
she said
yes.
She's tired that I'm always on the road.
iLifeRadio.com.
Too hard to swallow being
Music is
alone.
Everything podcast.
She needs someone at night that
With
she
your
can
boy.
hold.
DJ
She must have
Elegance.
told me 1,000 times more. Silent cries I used to ignore. God knows I love her, didn't mean hurt her. Baby, I'll be sitting here waiting on you to come home again. Waiting on you, baby. Promise I'll be here to the very end. And I'll be by your side to protect you and to love you and to be with you for life. Come home to me, Charlie.
Oh my goodness. We have to end it there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in on the iLife Radio community on the outside, everyone on Facebook, my special guest tonight, T Jr. and